What is up, YouTube family? Guys, I'm so excited the results are in. Ruby has been tested. Before we get into that, real quick, I want to tell you guys of a couple things I got coming up. First, I'm getting rid of some of the chrome. I'm not a huge chrome guy. A little bit's okay, but I'm going to take it down a notch. So I got some badges I'm going to put on the truck, replace the chrome badges. I'm even going to change out the grill. And probably in a month or so, I'm upgrading to LED headlights. And not just headlights, but actually the whole light with the DRL light and everything. So stay tuned. If you guys aren't connected with us, if you're not subscribed, do that right now so that you don't miss another video. Well, I won't delay. I know you guys are excited. I've been getting a lot of questions about this. So here's the results. All right, guys, let's look at this analysis. Now, just so everyone knows, I did redact this document. I took my personal information out of this, but this is my actual report. I knew this going in. Blackstone Laboratories has a phenomenal program, especially in regards to oil analysis. And so as you see this report, it's broken down. In the comment section, you're going to see the summary of the findings in your sample. Just kind of to breeze through it real quick. There was metal and silicon discovered through the analysis of the oil, but it's to be expected with the factory oil, the first oil change. There was iron and copper, also from wear-in of steel, brass, and bronze parts. The silicon, its origination is from the sealers that Ford uses in the engine assembly, and it'll take some oil changes to kind of work a lot of this stuff out of the system. Universal average shows typical wear levels once the wear-in washes out on 6,000 mile intervals. The factory oil tested thin, so it was discovered that when they tested the oil, it actually was a 5W20 instead of the 5W30, which was an interesting finding. All right, guys, let's look at the meat and potatoes of this report. Now, you'll notice that on the left, the far left under 3,500, that is my first sample. Now, as I build data, as I continue to get oil changes, I will build data across this chart and develop a trend of how the engine is breaking in, if it's breaking down, etc. If you look at the far right, you actually have universal averages, and that's what all this is based on. Going back to the data of my actual sample, you'll see that it's bold for iron, bold for copper, bold for silicon. Now, if it's bold, that means it's a high reading or higher than the average. Let's see. So if you go across and compare it to the universal average for iron, that average is normally 21. Copper, it was real high on copper. That was 79, where the average is 18. Silicon, again, that's from the sealing material on the engine. That was 123, where the average is 18. All right, guys, let's look at the remainder of the report. So the first two cells on the property section is viscosity. This is where they detected that the oil was lighter than, say, the standard 5W30. So that's a good indication there, with those numbers being a little lower, that it was lighter. On the flash point, it was where it needed to be, greater than 385. Your fuel, antifreeze, water, all of that was non-detect. Thank goodness. You start detecting a higher flash in your oil, that means fuel is getting in there, and that's a bad thing. Antifreeze, water, that's indicative of head gaskets, which would be a bad day. So, guys, I'm so excited about building this database as my engine ages, as it breaks in, to be able to trend data on the life of this engine. And I invite you to be a part of this journey. And thank you so much for watching. It means the world to me. We'll see you in the next video.